What's up everyone, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and today I'm going to be counting down the top 17 hit songs of 2018. This was certainly an interesting year, and in the mainstream, I feel like we got a lot of crap that just came down the chute. But there were also some silver linings in there. We'll talk about songs that crossed their way over to the Billboard Hot 100. This list, of course, is based on the United States Hot 100, and the requirements is that a song must have charted for at least 3 weeks to be considered a hit song. Hey, if Billboard can constantly change their formulas, I can tweak mine slightly as well. In the past, I did 5 weeks, but I feel like 3 weeks is a good amount of time at this point to consider it a hit song. There are so many tracks out there, and a lot of things come and go from the Hot 100, cycling in and out, and I think this accounts for not just an album bomb that might linger for a week or two, say Lil Wayne, Eminem, whoever else drops a huge album. I'm looking at 3 weeks because I feel like that's a proper amount of time to consider it a hit. Everything that you're gonna see on the list is of course opinion based, my opinion, and before we get to the actual top 17, I'm gonna roll some honorable mentions.
If I paid attention, I'm probably making it bigger, but you've been taking your dicks on a fucking backhoe. On the freaking minute, got me thinking of finishing everything with a seed of minutes and reaping the finish.
Never get lonely, thinking you could live without me.
Cause you're a natural, I beat it hard as stone. You count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up.
Easier said than done. I thought you were the one listening to my heart instead of my head.
The booth at the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me loose. Yeah, jump out, boys. That's Nike boys hopping out.
2018 certainly made it tough on me when it came to the Hot 100 and making this list because the hits that came, they just weren't really all that great. It was kind of a drought this year, and I'm hoping 2019 brings a change. So the honorable mentions that you just saw, and even the top 17, at least part of it, these aren't necessarily songs that I love and that I'm head over heels for, but I had to make do with what I was given, the songs that charted this year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Please drop a like on it to let me know that you enjoyed. Help me get this to 2,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. A lot of other music content and year-end lists are on the way, and here is my number 17 pick.
See you want me, see you want me. And I'm just a dead man walking tonight.
Youngblood, say you want me, right at number 17. That's right, 5 Seconds of Summer scored a massive hit in the form of the title track from their most recent album. It definitely took them a while to get this effort out, but it more than paid off for them. I was shocked to see this charting so high in their home country of Australia, but then it made its way over to the US Hot 100, peaking at number 7. Youngblood is an upbeat, at least relatively upbeat song in the chorus. It has a pumping, driving bass that is fun to listen to. The lyrics are seemingly about a rough patch in life, but also overcoming in a way, relationships, whatever it might be. It's one of those songs that I can just kind of flip my mind off to and still have a good time with. It's not the best thing ever, so that's why it landed at the bottom of my top 17.
Sometimes I feel like giving up, but I just can't. It isn't in my blood.
There's times when I hear the name Shawn Mendes and I just kind of roll my eyes, but there's other times where I see the genuine talent that bleeds through. And at number 16, we have one of those moments. In My Blood by Shawn Mendes is a really earnest tune that has passion to it. It also kind of puts a smile on my face, and so much of pop music now just doesn't do that. As Todd in the Shadows recently pointed out, everything is just so dull and middle of the road and not that interesting, not that upbeat, but also not too slow. In My Blood just has a nice chorus and some nice keys that he really hits with his voice and the soothing guitar. Everything comes together in a nice little neat package.
What the fuck though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, where the ones go? It's a shit show. Put you front row.
Where the love go? Right here at number 15. Lil Wayne finally returned after a long legal battle with his former label, Young Money Cash Money Records. Obviously the Young Money superstar being back on his own now, signed to Interscope Records. He put out the Carter 5, and Uproar was definitely one of the highlights from that. I almost selected Mona Lisa, but it really wasn't a hit in the way that Uproar was. This one got the single and music video treatment, so that's why it's landing here at number 15. It's a catchy track with a nice hype instrumental thanks to Swizz beats. It's a fun tune to just kinda let loose to, have some fun, dance your ass off, or participate in that short-lived challenge that never really took off, the Uproar Challenge. The internet taketh away, but the internet also giveth. At number 14, we have Weezer's cover of Toto's Africa, a song that I honestly probably should have seen coming, especially since they covered another Toto song right before that. There was a campaign started by a young girl online to get Weezer to cover Toto's Africa, and lo and behold, Rivers Cuomo, the meme-loving, tweeting man that he is, actually pulled it together. And you know what? Despite the amount of hate that I've seen for this cover, it's really not bad. And honestly, once that chorus comes on, how are you gonna hate on this? Especially with Weird Al in the music video, and the fact that it's Weezer, just as nerdy as they are, singing this track and bringing it back to life. Who cares if it's not the best cover in the books? If this is charting on the Hot 100, it's definitely better than a lot of the things around it.
You know I say that I am better now, better now. I only say that cause you're not around, not around. You know I never meant to let you down.
Catchy, snappy melodies from Post Malone roll their way into the number 13 position with Better Now. This is a tune that blew up, hit number 3 on the Hot 100, and Post saw his biggest year of success yet. Beer Bongs and Bentleys was a force to be reckoned with, as many of the songs, in fact all of them at least at some point, charted on the Hot 100, and this is one of the songs that truly took off and took over in 2018. This is a song that definitely has the catchy guitar in the background, also the bumping beat that really gets stuck in your head, and the way that the vocals are done from Post Malone, they were made to be catchy and they're super effective in doing so. This is a song that I love to listen to. I've never really gotten tired of it as I hear it more and more and more. People try to play it to death, but here it is, still holding on and sounding good.
I've been thinking, I want you to be happier.
Another producer with a weird costume on his head makes his way onto the number 12 position. It's Marshmallow featuring Bastille. Bastille are an alternative band, of course, fronted by Dan Bastille. He teamed up with the producer here for a song that definitely has some emotion and some power to it, although it's a bit curbed by the fact that that drop is just super bland and generic, like it's Marshmallow just hitting his stereotypical beat drop button, and he does that, it's okay, but Bastille actually sounds really good on this one, and I think if you can kind of peel back some of the cheesiness on the production side, there's actually a good song to be had, and I've had a ton of fun just getting into it more, but also kind of relating to some of the messages. And if you watch the music video, please beware, trigger warning for the sadness, because the tears are probably going to start flowing. Rapper Kendrick Lamar was put in charge of curating the Black Panther soundtrack earlier this year, and as the lead-off single, we got Kendrick teaming up with label mate from Top Dawg, SZA. The singer actually does an amazing job. In fact, her vocals just sound so glossy and beautiful, but not too like auto-tuned or anything like that, like they've been fixated on too much and somebody's just sitting there cleaning them up. She actually comes through and has a ton of prowess on this track, and then Kendrick obviously in full control here. I think that some people would probably lean more towards like King's Dead or something from the soundtrack, but honestly, I really wasn't into it as a whole, the soundtrack that is. Now this song though, this one absolutely shone like the star that it is, and all the stars continues to get rotation and plays from me to this day. Number 10, Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. This, of course, is lifted from the A Star Is Born soundtrack, which is the how many different remakes of it is it at this point? Who cares? The song is fantastic. It's an original track, and if this doesn't win an Oscar for like Best Original Song, then what are we doing as a country? Even if it doesn't win, at least we get a tune that has a lot of power, a lot of belting from Lady Gaga, the huge talent that she is. I'm so glad to see a rock, or at least a pop rock song such as this crossing over to the Hot 100 and charting so high all the way up at number 5, Lady Gaga absolutely deserves to have more hits, especially off of her album Joanne. That didn't really happen outside of Million Reasons, and I guess you could also argue Perfect Illusion, but this track, Shallow, was a big comeback for her, as was the soundtrack. And I have to add, Bradley Cooper, you actually sound damn good on this track and the soundtrack the movie as well.
Listen to my heart go ba-dum, boot up, dee-dee-da-dum, boot up, and my heart go ba-dum, boot up.
Rising UK R&B star Ella Mai strikes a match and lights all the way up to number 9 with her hit single, Boot Up. This was a song that I didn't hear for the longest time for whatever stupid or silly reason. I kind of avoid the charts sometimes just because I'm scared, and I didn't recognize her name, but that wasn't fair. The first time that I played this, I was almost instantly just kind of nodding my head and grooving. The beat and production is actually done by DJ Mustard, which I found very surprising considering I've had strong opinions on not liking him in the past, but he actually comes through here, and apparently Ella is one of his proteges. To be quite honest, Boot Up feels like a future R&B classic, like this is a staple that people will continue to keep spinning for years to come. It's something that's so easy to sink into, her vocals are almost silky smooth, and you love the way that it's layered, the production, the synthesizers, the beat on this thing, it stays steady grooving, and just the way that she's able to make that chorus hit and just stick in your mind, it's kind of unreal.
Cool that I said all that. Is it chill that you're in my head? 'Cause I know that it's delicate.
Sometimes the hit songs sneak up on you, and that's exactly what this sleeper hit did. At number 8, we have Taylor Swift, the mega superstar icon that she is in the world of pop and music in general, with her song Delicate. This didn't chart as high as it should have. In fact, I wish it had gone at least top 3, but it didn't quite get there. That's unfortunate, but still, this song is so good. It relies on more of a minimalistic approach, and that's something that I wish Taylor would do more often. She tried something new, but also did it in a way that still felt like Taylor Swift. She was being honest with her emotions. The chorus is still catchy in a very different way, and it just feels very light on its feet. It of course helps that it got an amazing music video, but that is a story for a different video.
And shout outs on my niggas with escape plans. 20 bands, rain dance.
The Harlem rapper A$AP Rocky's album Testing might have been a disappointment, but there were some great songs on there, and it's unfortunate that I don't get to put A$AP Forever here because that only charted for 2 weeks, but guess what? I'll take Praise the Lord to Shine featuring Skepta. This is a song with an immensely catchy beat, something that's so snappy, the production is so quick, and it's just overpowering. It takes over you after a couple of listens. It's not necessarily a lyrical song that you're always focusing on in that regard, but I do feel like A$AP Rocky sounds really good here with the bars that he's spitting, and Skepta feels right at home on a track like this. This is definitely something that's going to sound great in your car to bump in the whip, as the kids say, and also maybe great at a party, great with your friends, whatever, just for yourself to get motivated and amped up to.
You're a fucking molehill. Now I'ma make a mountain out of you. Ho chill, acting like you put the chrome barrel to my bone marrow. Gonna bitch, you ain't a bow and arrow. Say you run up on me like a phone bill.
The diss tracks were flying left and right in 2018, and the best of them, it was an old schooler. At number 6, we have rapper Eminem and his song Kill Shot, which of course was targeted right at MGK. You can see it right there on the album artwork. It's something that he put out in response to MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, and his song Rap Devil, which was not very good. It wasn't the worst thing ever, probably one of the better things that MGK's done, but that's not saying a ton. But Eminem struck back relatively quickly, not fast enough for some people, but I'm glad he took his time crafting the response, because as I've listened to this song more, I see that it was so clever, so detailed in many different ways, and he just dominates MGK on every single level. Even MGK admitted that he couldn't respond to this, and how could you? He even tried to capitalize on the beef with Eminem by putting out a binge EP, which absolutely tanked first week. It kind of made me happy to see that because it shows that Eminem has the power that he does, and even in his mid-40s, he can just slam this guy into the ground.
All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for living.
More More than a decade after their last Hot 100 Top 10 appearance, Panic! At the Disco tear up the charts with their single High Hopes from Pray for the Wicked. This is a song that I absolutely love. It's not even a guilty pleasure, it's just something that you throw on and I just lose everything to. I just want to dance, I want to move, I want to sing, and that's a good feeling to have. This is a song that makes you forget about kind of the pains of the world, how dark everything is right now. Have those high hopes, have those dreams, have whatever it is. And I know that people kind of get onto Brendan, including myself, for having that big ego, for putting it out there, and for just soaring over the tracks. But when it works as well as this, how can I deny it? I am not going to be mad about a song like this crossing over so high. The horns, the guitars, Brendan's electrifying performance on this thing, the vocals are just top notch, and it shows and proves once again why he is the top tier vocalist that he is. Even if I didn't enjoy the album that it's lifted from, this song is pretty undeniable. Oh, it's so frustrating because this song should have been a massive jam that just swept the nation, and I feel like it could have been, like even 5 years ago, but now we're all so fixated on trap and whatever else, and this song kinda gets pushed aside despite it having 3 huge names attached to it. We're talking about at number 4, Thunderclouds by LSD, which is the teaming up of Labyrinth, Sia, and producer Diplo. Saying those words like you hate me now. This song is always floating around in the back of my head, and it just gives you that good feeling. We need to feel inspired sometimes, and I feel like this song kind of teaches you that you go through these patches in life, the thunderclouds, the storm, so to speak, but you can come out the other side if you choose to push yourself. And that's exactly what Sia does on this, with her great vocal performance, and also I have to call to mind the production from Diplo, and also Labyrinth. I haven't heard from him in a while, at least he's not been on my radar, but here he's coming on this track and just giving it his all, and giving a nice tinge to it that I haven't heard in pop music in quite some time. Welcome to the state of mind that you want to be in, like, all the time. At number 3, we have Ariana Grande with No Tears Left to Cry. This was, of course, the lead single from her album Sweetener, and it's such a buttery smooth, silky R&B tune that takes influence from like the 90s, even someone like Mariah Carey. The production is just incredible, immaculate even. It's something that you can immediately hear the layers, but it also just feels like it's so real because her voice sells the emotion and the power in the song. Of course, Ariana had a very tumultuous year leading up to this, and even after the release of this, things just haven't exactly been smooth sailing for her. But this song, it stands out. It's a huge blip on the radar. It's saying, incoming, incoming, play me over and over and over again. As the years continued to fly by, I started to fear that the alternative band Foster the People would be one-hit wonders, that of course being Pumped Up Kicks. This was Hot 100 success, they did have some alternative hits, but outside of that, they hadn't seen a ton of mainstream attention. That of course was until their luck changed with the hit song Sit Next to Me. This peaked around the mid-40s on the Hot 100, but still, it lingered on the charts, and it kind of burned up the radio for a little bit. I heard this out in public several times, and even though I don't really listen to the radio at all, if I was like in a friend's car or out at the mall or something, I actually heard it in passing a few times, and that's always a good sign. I think that Foster the People are extremely talented. Their album that it came from, Sacred Hearts Club, was extremely underrated. Despite critics hating it, I actually thoroughly enjoyed the majority of it, and Sit Next to Me, it's just one of those songs with the vocals that reach the falsetto range, but also just put a smile on your face because it sees a new relationship potentially blossoming here. You're being a little bit flirtatious, and this song opens the door.
Don't believe in narcissism when everyone projects and expects you to listen to them. Make no mistake, I live in a prison that I built myself. It is my...
Hold your horses right now. I know you're probably upset. You're probably wondering, how could this be? How could John, the guy that made an episode of Problems I Have With on the Chainsmokers, put a Chainsmokers song as the #1 hit song of 2018? Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. At number 1, we have Sick Boy Yes by the duo The Chainsmokers. They've been douchey in the past, they've had some bad songs in the past, and hey, they've had some bad songs that have come out after this, including Beach House. I am not one to just praise everything just because they had one great song, but Sick Boy is a track that I feel defined the mentality of 2018. We went in with a ton of hatred that was riding in parts of the country, and this song talks about it. And it's a pop song, sure, it might not go super in depth, but it talks about the division that we see, the narcissism, how things are done for likes and for viral attention. How many likes is my life worth, True Taggart puts out there on this one. And it's a song that just had such an intense build to me. I love the intro that starts off and also the closing notes that are just played on the piano. It's all really tasteful, and that's very surprising for me to say about the Chainsmokers. But a great song is a great song, and this one just meant a lot to me throughout the year. I played it over and over again. It got so many repeat plays from me, and I hope that if you didn't like it or if you never gave it the time of day, then you'll change that today.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Oh, John, how did you forget? How did you forget? How did this happen? How? In an unprecedented turn of events, I've forgotten that a song that I loved charted on the Hot 100 for the required amount of time. And that song was Jumpsuit by 21 Pilots. Jumpsuit by 21 Pilots is an amazing tune, one with a rattling, throttling in your face bass that you can just sink your teeth into. It was something vastly different that I didn't expect for the lead-off single from their album Trench, but I welcomed it with arms wide open. It started telling us the story of Dima and Trench, and the video is excellent that goes along with it as well. You might have seen that on my best music videos of the year list. It's an engaging song that's a whole lot of fun to listen to, kind of a rocker that reminds me a bit of Muse and some of those levels that they hit with songs like Uprising. It definitely gets the people going, gets everybody moving, and it also has a message, and I think that Tyler Joseph gives an incredible vocal performance, from his falsetto moments to the screams, and of course Josh Dunn's drums are perfect as always. We've made it to the end of the countdown for the top 17 best hit songs of 2018. If you would like to see this entire list and listen along for yourself, there is a Spotify playlist linked down below. You can follow me on Spotify, username Compton182. Please smash the like button while you're here to let me know that you enjoyed the video today. Subscribe to the channel if you want more music related content. There's a lot more coming down the pipeline. Of course, if you're able to, then please grab some merch or else support me on Patreon. It's the top 2 links down below. If you want to go directly to my Patreon to support on a monthly basis, then please click this annotation in the corner of your screen. If you want to see all of my year-end videos, then there's one convenient playlist that you can check out right here. If you want to see last year's best hit songs, then tap here or connect with me on social media. All of these links you see here found in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you soon for more right here on Beyond ARTV.